Greetings from IG Student Chapter of Marine Engineering College, Trivandrum. As we are facing this pandemic situation, we have planned to conduct this webinar via online, hoping all your support and cooperation throughout this session. So today we have Vijayadas sir, who is the Chief Project Examiner of KIIFB, on the topic Strategies for Infrastructure Development in Kerala, KIIFB Approach. He worked as project engineer in National Dairy Development Board for various dairy projects in the state of Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, and Gujarat. He also worked as Assistant Chief Technical Examiner under Department of Finance, Government of Kerala. He had the opportunity to work as technical member in NRHM and also associated with Kannur Airport project. Subsequently, worked as Joint Chief Engineer in Civil Department, BSNL Chennai, for over 2 years prior to the role of Chief Project Examiner. He has almost 28 years of experience in this field. So before moving on to the session, it's time to address the gathering. As our HOD of a civil engineering department was having an emergency, he was not able to join us. So today we have our professor, Dr. Narayanan sir, to propose the welcome speech. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. I think it is my pleasant duty to welcome the guest of honor for the webinar on strategies for infrastructure development in Kerala, KIIFB Approach. Engineer Vijayadas, SJ, Chief Project Examiner, KIIFB Trivandrum. Before going on to the talk, it is my duty to thank the management of the college, Reverend Father Wilfredi, manager of the college, Father Sutish Bursar, respected directors, Dr. Samson A., Professor Tommy, respected principal, Dr. Ruby Abraham, and also HOD Civil Department, Dr. Vinod. I thank the IGS Students Chapter, ably guided by Professor Rani, for organizing this event. Engineer Vijayadas, SJ, as you have already heard, is a man of many achievements. And if you look at the areas in which he has worked, it is incredible. He has worked in National Dairy Development Board, infrastructure projects like water supply, Bangalore Urban Water Supply, Simla Water Supply Project. He, in fact, when I went through the profile, he is 1997 IES batch, that is Joint Department of Telecommunication. He has also experienced in ISO 9001 certification of BSNL Civil Zone. As Joint Chief Examiner, as you are all aware, he looks into the quality of many of the projects, of all the projects which are undertaken under him. We are fortunate to hear from a person with so much experience. And I also bring to notice that last year from October to this year, January, we had so many technical talks through webinar, and now we are again starting off on a new session. Hope we will have a lot of interesting talks, starting with Engineer Vijayadas. Also, the KIIFB model of financing projects in Kerala has invited a lot of interest. I think everybody is looking forward to your talk. We welcome you, sir, to the session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Now the session starts. Participants, please note, all should ensure that the mic is mute and video is on off. Feedback response form will be provided at the end of the session. Ensure that you fill the feedback form to issue the certificate. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. And it's a great. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. And let me begin with a brief introduction about the organization KIIFB, Kerala Infrastructure Investment Fund Board. Though it's a little bit old organization, it is in the restructured form, started existing from 2016, based on an act passed under Assembly. The mandate is to promote infrastructure development growth in Kerala. Kerala, we know, we are blessed with so many resources and several privileges. Our health, education, and other social sector is very good compared to other states of India. But unfortunately, over the years, our infrastructure development has not been taking place in the same pace at which other states are developing. This is basically due to the fact that our majority of the budgetary resources are spent on social sector initiatives in health, education, and community protection, and various other social needs. The capital investment was not coming much into the project. In various infrastructure projects like transportation systems, energy systems, water resource systems, major health infrastructure, and all of these things. It was going on in a very gradual and uniform speed by utilizing the budgetary resources every year, the government earmark. So, in order to have a change from that, as we all know that the backbone of any other development, any industry, depends upon the quality of the infrastructure which every society possesses. Unless we have got good connectivity, good commutation facility, good transportation facility, industries will not come. And even as you know, even the development of IT and even other development in the medical sector, everything depends upon good quality infrastructure prevailing in every state. So the government has actively taken up the initiative for developing the massive infrastructure in Kerala by bridging the deficit. Means we already have a shortage of a lot of infrastructure systems in Kerala. How to overcome this? The solution is KIIFB and KIIFB mode of assisting projects and investing in infrastructure projects through innovative financing models. KIIFB works in a specific model that large infrastructural facilities are built in a very short span, say 5 to 6 years, and the total financial liability which may arise due to the construction and execution of this infrastructure will be spread over a long period of time through a financial model. And KIIFB is supported by government through the petrol cess as well as the vehicle tax registration share and all. KIIFB leverages this amount for making payments, and KIIFB undertakes commitments for financing various projects under sectors like transportation, health, education, sports. There are plenty of energy, water resources, and plenty of sectors in which KIIFB is. It's almost touching every infrastructure shortage in Kerala, and it is also funding projects across the geography. It is not. It is spread through every constituency, every village, every taluk is touched by one or other KIIFB project. And innovatively, these projects are not executed by KIIFB. These projects are executed by various state and central government organizations called special purpose vehicle. They have the responsibility to, when the government identify a project, announce the budget, the SPVs have the responsibility to start developing the project. And the detailed project reports are prepared by these organizations. Example, Kerala Road Fund Board. It's an organization which is already existing, and they have been mandated to carry out 15,000 to 20,000 crore worth road network in whole Kerala. It's their duty to prepare the project reports and submit KIIFB for approval and get it executed. So this is the context. This is how the whole organizational framework is working. And how KIIFB support this infrastructure development? That is, and what are the strategies KIIFB has developed to ensure that the projects are executed with three broad parameters. One is ensuring quality. Second is ensuring targeted time frame of completion. Third is ensuring availability of funds at the right time. So these are three pillars on which KIIFB has developed all the strategies. And it is not only funding, but KIIFB touches every part of the execution process by the SPVs by ensuring that they get timely fund as well as the quality of the project is ensured and the project is completed in time. There is no point in funding a project which may take unlimited time to complete, because the benefits from the project has to be available to the community at the earliest. This is the purpose of mobilizing funds and spending it and executing the project in a time-bound manner. And while the term ensuring quality signifies a lot of responsibility, it is not a simple examination of the works or any other limited involvement by KIIFB. KIIFB involves from the inception of the project to the completion and even post-completion and operation maintenance also to some extent by setting up guidelines, setting up a very refined project appraisal mechanism, developing a very detailed project monitoring system, and ensuring quality through various technical examination and field inspections, and also by coordinating with the various agencies involved in projects. This is how KIIFB's involvement is signified in these projects. While primary responsibility of developing the projects and executing the projects lies with the SPVs, KIIFB has taken a value for money approach in managing this project. Means a money spent on the project should be really worthwhile, and it should give the desired output from the project. And the money is not wasted on non-priority projects, or money is not wasted on projects which does not require certain features. So these all managed through a rigorous project appraisal process. Some 15 to 20 parameters are analyzed in detail, like what is the demand of the project, what is the context of the projects, and what is the functional design of the project, whether it suits to the requirement of the stakeholder or the community for which it is going to serve, and what is the detailed engineering design and value engineering done, and quality management system, organizational structure through which the project is going to be executed, and what are the environmental impact of this project, what are the sustainability initiatives to be considered or already the projects are being analyzed in a multidimensional way. All aspects of the projects are analyzed in detail through a rigorous desktop study as well as field visits, and take a decision whether this project can be funded or not. This is the first step in which KIIFB involves in the project planning and design phase. Once this project is approved as fundable, the board of KIIFB, chaired by Chief Minister and other board members like Finance Minister and eminent academicians and eminent banking professionals, and KIIFB CEO, they take a decision whether this project can be funded or not. Once this project funding is done, then the detailed engineering development phase is done by the SP, the special purpose vehicle. So they are assisted by KIIFB in various modes during the detailed engineering phase. And KIIFB has developed a detailed design review process by engaging professionals whose services can be availed by these agencies, so that a proper engineered design detail is available to the project execution team. And normally what we observe in various government project and public works are an issue called incomplete engineering. We call it as incomplete. The execution starts without having adequate details developed prior to, without having adequate investigation, without having adequate detailed engineering before starting the project. This is a problem which have been observed in most of the public works, and due to the fact projects get affected at various stages. It may get affected during the tendering stage, or it may get affected during the execution stage, or some major quality problems or structural or non-structural issues rise up, and it unnecessarily drags the project, and the objective of completing the project in time gets affected. In order to avoid that problem, the KIIFB has also come up with a proposal that a detailed project execution document, apart from the DPR, has to be developed, and this has to be approved by the competent authority in the special purpose vehicle who is executing it prior to start of the work. In order to help this project execution design, KIIFB also has certain resource mechanisms, like we have a technical resource center working under KIIFB, and they help these organizations in developing their projects and carrying out detailed engineering designs. One of the major initiatives KIIFB has taken is implementing building information modeling mandatory in KIIFB project. This means that a detailed engineering document has to be submitted in a building information modeling system in we follow AutoCAD Revit, where it is, some of you may be aware of that, there are various levels of detailing. KIIFB insists on at least LOD 300 to 400, depending upon the complexity of the project. This model should be readily available. This model is a digital twin of the project which is going to be executed at site. Unless this model is not ready, and KIIFB is not normally permitting the projects to start. The advantage of having this BIM model is that in KIIFB as well as in SPVs, engineers can assess what can be the problems which can arise during the construction problem. Like if it is a hospital project, if there are multiple services, multiple utilities where there is a conflict, or if there are any structural or any other functional conflict which can occur, this can be visualized in advance. So this will prevent the executing agency from entering into certain problems during the execution. Moreover, this also helps KIIFB to monitor the progress of the project by at an intervals, and also to remotely check the conditions of execution and all these things using this model. This is one of the initiatives which KIIFB has taken. Second thing is KIIFB has also taken up various investigation support for developing this thing. Like we have supported a road front board in LiDAR surveys. LiDAR surveys helps us to get the most accurate digital elevation model. Based on that, if a transportation or a linear infrastructure is developed, we will get a more accurate drawings. And we also have a drone-based photogrammetric survey, which also helps the SPVs to develop detailed engineering drawings useful for execution. These drones also are used for progress monitoring and quality monitoring on a latest. Then KIIFB has also developed an in-house design team. They will be available for the execution agency for any detailed engineering issues or any new technology introduction, and for value engineering and related aspects. So this is how KIIFB is supporting the SPVs in planning and designing a project. Once this planning and design is completed, when the work is started, KIIFB has got multiple mechanisms to monitor the project, its quality and progress. So first thing, how we KIIFB monitor the progress of the project. KIIFB has made it mandatory that all projects are well detailed, and a detailed work breakdown structure is developed for all these projects, and these projects are uploaded in KIIFB platform, and the execution is carried out based on the prescribed milestone originally agreed through this Microsoft-based work breakdown structure. This also helps to KIIFB to understand in advance when we will be requiring funding for a particular project. And whenever a project is lagging behind the schedules, it can be well identified and effective action also can be taken. So in multiple ways, this detailed scheduling and work breakdown structure helps in KIIFB. One is about financial planning. Second is about progress monitoring. Third is about quality monitoring, where the inspection when the inspection has to be planned, or are there any problems which are affecting the physical execution, physical completion of the project. And a proactive intervention can be initiated with the help of this scheduling device, scheduling methodology. Then the second thing is about field level inspections. KIIFB has a large inspection setup where the engineers from all disciplines are working at going to the field and verifying whether the detailed project report as well as the project engineering documents are strictly followed while executing the project, where all good engineering practices are followed, where all quality tests are done in time, and whether the contract management is performing well as per the desired proposals given during the approval of the project. If not, KIIFB can take a KIIFB has got an inspection authority which is vested with powers to take very stringent action to rectify this defect. Either the project can be suspended, or corrective actions can be taken, or the contractor's payments can be withheld for want of quality and all these issues. And this inspection team is supported by a regular quality audit team also. Inspection is a very systematic process and taking place at projects depending upon the importance of the issue, and it's mostly a sampling process. But quality audit is a process where all projects are covered and regular continuous auditing is taking place on this on quality of the project. In order to support the inspection authority, KIIFB has got a quality monitoring studio where we can have the remote information. We have an auto lab also, a bus fitted with all the cameras and minimum testing equipment. We can go to the site and conduct the test. This test can be viewed by the senior level officers sitting at the KIIFB headquarters, and they can guide the team on conducting various examinations, and they can even visualize. They can ensure that the quality testing is really done. There is a centralized quality monitoring studio available in KIIFB. There is also a centralized quality lab, which is mostly equipped with non-destructive testing equipments like ground penetrating radars, falling wave deflectometers, and most advanced and rebound hammers and ultrasound pulse velocity meters. Most of the equipments are of non-destructive type equipments, which normally the engineering organization which executing the project may not have it. So because KIIFB inspection team, when they go to assess, sometimes the work may be completed. At that time, the investigations can be mostly done with this kind of equipments only. And those who are working in transportation and maybe knowing that there is an advanced equipment of falling wave deflectometer, KIIFB has purchased it. And KIIFB is the only organization in Kerala having that equipment, and we are effectively using it to understand the strength of the crust without crust of the transport road without disturbing it. And why I am telling you this about the general perception about KIIFB is a funding organization. But apart from funding, KIIFB has taken up several initiatives to support the SPVs, as well as by strengthening our internal inspection system, the quality is ensured. And in addition to this, we have this is how the quality monitoring system and inspection system works. And we have a well-developed information management division who is working on all GIS-related applications on projects. All the projects are mapped in GIS, and their temporal changes are being updated in a periodic manner, so that the management and senior team can always have a look at what is happening in each project. And if a particular site and inspection has taken place, what are the directions given and whether the directions are being complied. All these things are mapped into the GIS framework, and it has been it is very easy to visualize such things, as well as very easy to plan the inspections based on certain prescriptive parameters. Certain predictions we can done where the inspections are to be planned, and where in a particular sector, in a particular area, suppose certain projects are giving certain quality issues, then the inspection can be planned using the GIS tool. The inspection can be focused on that area. This is one of the major area where we are working. We are also trying to develop a visual monitoring system where there are Leica cameras and Matterport cameras. These cameras can capture the images at a frequent interval, and this is under development. And we are in discussion with the various agencies, and this can give a, of course, 99% accurate, measurable 3D models of the executed, whether it is a bridge or a building. The models can be scanned on a periodic manner. These scanned images can be processed, which are compatible with the BIM also. So it can be, the accuracy can be checked. And any quality issues are there which can be determined in advance, rather than allowing the work to be completed until end and then later on taking action. So this is one of the area we are working on it. Then interestingly, KIIFB has taken up several initiatives in sustainability. So why I am telling is this several funding organizations like KIIFB also insist on putting an environment, social and governance framework. So in addition to that, KIIFB has an approved sustainable infrastructure management policy, where the infrastructure development is supported through various introduction of new technologies, new and sustainable technologies. One example I will tell you, we have done a pilot project on called full depth reclamation. That is utilizing the existing aggregate in the road itself. The entire crust has been milled and reused, and a new road has been created. So this has helped us in promoting a technology which will save a lot of aggregate, which will virgin aggregates. Use of virgin aggregate is considerably reduced. That project is almost 30 months old, and now the project is working well. So we are going to replicate the project to various other roads which are technically suitable. KIIFB has also taken a massive road over the program through a pre-engineered steel structures. And that also KIIFB is direct. In such projects, KIIFB is directly involved and gives all technical directions to the executing agencies. And various other studies are going on innovative soil protection. Palakkad IIT is helping us in protecting the slopes. As we know that Kerala has got several hill road developments, and slope stability is a major issue. And the conventional retaining walls are very expensive, and it prevents us from building roads and maintaining it properly. So various innovative methods like using geocells or using RE walls, a lot of discussions are going on, and several sites visits have been conducted by Palakkad IIT team and KIIFB jointly, and in Idukki and Wayanad. These are the two focus districts we are going to prescribe sustainable soil protection measures. And other technologies like soil nailing and hydroseeding and all these things are also KIIFB has formulated documents and standards, which are also planning to be implemented in due course. This is how KIIFB has developed a detailed intervention framework where the projects are completed by ensuring the quality, time frame, and making the fund available. This is a broad overview of all the activities KIIFB is taking place, and KIIFB has taken certain initiatives in the capacity development sector also. Like we have a massive internship program where we recruit 30 to 40 engineers. First batch is almost completed. We have to restart it again. So when KIIFB ventures into new technologies and new systems, new processes, new strategies, the engineering community should learn it, and they should replicate this thing in other organizations. So with this purpose, KIIFB has developed an internship where 6 months to 1 year people work in various sectors, and they get trained in modern quality audits, building information modeling, project scheduling, and innovative designs. And then they can go to various other organizations, either under state government or in private sector. They can replicate this knowledge. They can use this knowledge there, and this will generally improve the whole infrastructure environment, the technical. This thing, it will be finally beneficial to the society. This is one of the initiatives KIIFB has taken. We also have several institutional tie-ups like World Resource Institute, Palakkad HNA IIT, and TERI for promoting technologies and helping the SPVs in executing the projects in sustainable as well as using good technologies and conforming to the standards. I think if everybody has got some idea about how KIIFB is working, I can take a small break and how to proceed the direction. Can I answer the questions, or you want me to explain on any particular aspects? I can do it.
Vijayadas hope that some presentation or some methods are there to show some facilities in KIIFB, or something is there to share with the students.
That anyway, I have not made it for this presentation. I can send it to all by mail. I will give the list.
Okay.
Since it is only 1 hour, I thought I will only give some introduction and.
Okay. Because students might be.
Yeah, sure. I will send you a presentation which we normally give it on such sessions on style. Last year.
So can we go for interaction or
any particular aspect which I have mentioned, anything which requires in detail, I can explain, or any clarity about the functioning of KIIFB and strategies, because it's a new initiative. So naturally, it will be slightly different from other engineering organizations.
Narayan sir, any specific point, sir?
Yeah.
So on which area that focus should generate, or let the students convey that part?
I think I have a few questions to ask, but let the students give their opinion on what additionally they want to hear.
Okay. So students tried, you can ask the questions or queries, not questions, queries related to KIIFB, so that your questions or query will be answered. Hemna and all the team members, please go on asking some questions related to KIIFB, so that you will get an idea about KIIFB and its working process. Please. Sir, I think Narayan sir, you can start asking. By the time students will also get into touch with that.
Okay. I think last year this time in January we had a talk by Dr. Jose Kurian sir, who is a very close friend of mine. He said he's also working in KIIFB. I think that was a talk which we enjoyed, and this is a big information for me as far as I'm concerned regarding KIIFB. I think you have mentioned about the use of the beam radar drone surveys being used. I also heard that PWD engineers are trained. I think this is a new shift. Not shifts to it. Can you comment on that? Because previously, when you say PWD, they are just execution agencies. But here we're talking about use of new technologies. I think that's a big shift. Can you kindly comment on that?
Yes, actually, with this, all these processes and technology, building information technology, building information modeling, as well as new surveying techniques, digital surveying techniques, and new technology implementation, PWD engineers and all other SPVs engineers are made part of it. We have a system, as I was saying, KIIFB is having a technical resource center. This technical resource center handholds this, conduct a hand-holding exercise with these engineers, and wherever these projects are taken up, it is they get trained into it. all this, for example, scheduling. Almost all the engineers in working under KIIFB projects, maybe add it to maybe 500 to 1,000 engineers will be there in all the SPVs. They all get an opportunity to work in a advanced project scheduling method. We have 20 to 30 people working in our office only for helping them to get trained in this. Every project, their live project, they bring it to the team and they sit with them and do a detailing. More than 100 projects are being modeled in building information modeling, where each building information model is done with the help of the SPV engineers, whether it is a PWD bridge team or a PWD build or a other KITCO building team. They sit with our engineers and do the modeling, and finally the output is a combined effort. So ultimately, the person who are associated with the KIIFB projects get trained in all the infrastructure areas, which we think that in future this will help all the state government organizations in Kerala, because these people go from one organization to another organization, or the knowledge gets disseminated, and we also take organized efforts to get these technologies promoted by conducting seminars and workshops for engineers. So it's going on. It is gradually transforming the public works culture into a more professional work culture.
I think truly, I think that's also impression I got from the talk you have given to us. My God, Kerala engineering sector, execution sector is now become very much technology oriented. Like you have mentioned about many non-destructive testing methods, GIS mapping. This looks like a big things for the state of Kerala. And I think with people who have experienced work outside Kerala, because you have been working in a National Dairy Development Board, then Department of Telecommunication, all these places where, the moment we see a central government work, we see that it is professionally going on in Karakutam for the bypass. So I think KIIFB is giving that sort of thrust to various departments in Kerala. I think that is a very good thing which is happening, I think, through KIIFB. I think previous to 2016, it was not there so much, is it not? Only after 2016.
Actually, the initiative started after 2016. And KIIFB has also various sir, please.
Yeah, you can continue. I think.
I'm just adding to that how this engineers are being benefited. KIIFB has come up with the sectoral manuals. For example, if you take KIIFB standard road, we have a very detailed road planning and design manual published by KIIFB. KIIFB has also got a bridge manual where how bridges, it's a combination of various other standards and practices followed by Government of India, more and other reputed engineering organizations. But it becomes a very handy tool for the engineers to learn in a very fast manner, so that while executing the project, they can stick to KIIFB standards. Once KIIFB standards are followed in total, they can ensure that this thing. And you were mentioning about like Joskuren sir and others have helped us in developing the standards particularly. He's working as an advisor with us. And similarly, we have taken the help of various senior professors from Dr. Vijayadas from Chennai IIT has been a regular visitor to us prior to this COVID. And he has helped us in developing various road standards for implementing in Kerala. So we want our roads, KIIFB funded roads, to be a little better standard than the roads being constructed under World Bank guided program, World Bank funded program called KSTP. So the advantage is that when we invest in quality and quality control, ultimately we are not increasing the cost. We are reducing the life cycle cost of a project. See, normally in a budget-supported PWD work, after 3 to 4 years, it becomes necessary to resurface it. But you consider A KST project takes works up to 6 to 7 years without a resurfacing. But in KIIFB, we have identified that the project, if executed with prescribed standards, it can survive up to 10 years without a resurfacing. So a minimal investment only is required. Instead of doing every 5 years or 3 years or 4 years, you can do it after 10 years. So this ultimately going to be helpful to government and public. This is the approach. Earlier I was saying it is an extension of the value for money concept. A durable project will have a huge life cycle cost saving. So that is the fundamental philosophy in the quality management initiatives taken by KIIFB. Sir.
Yeah, one more thing. You have mentioned about the work breakdown structure.
Yes.
Going to be different packets of work when we draw a CPM network.
No, this is actually work breakdown structure. We have followed the Microsoft project. That is, it is like our PERT or a CPM, where Microsoft project tool is being used. And the difference between other scheduling processes carried out, we go for the micro level. For example, you take a building, it may have some 1,000 work schedules. It is meticulously broken down, and even it is linked to the contract management process. Where we have come up with an idea concept called payment milestones. Unless the contractor completes a certain set of projects, project activities, he will not become. They cannot raise the bills, and SPVs cannot pass the bills. So this makes it. It's a guidance for the contractor to execute the project in time. Then moreover, we have a system called project monitoring and alert system, where it's a mobile based application. So that is linked to this schedules. An engineer goes to the site and look at the schedule and what is the current planned schedule of the work and what is actually happening. He can take the photographs and upload it in. This also is mandatory for releasing fund from our end. So planning and whether the planned works are executed at site, that has been monitored through this mechanism. So Microsoft, there are two major platforms available for project management. Practicing engineers use either Microsoft Project or Primavera. And Primavera being little complex, we thought we will adopt a Microsoft Project. These project licenses are purchased by KIIFB and distributed to all the SPVs who are executing it. They are working in this platform. So that is how we are promoting the professional project management process. It gives us a better control over the project as well as on predicting the cash flow. It is something, in a financial management system, you cannot simply borrow the money and keep it because you'll be paying some interest on it. So when to borrow and how much to borrow, these are the two major decisions to be taken in a project management finance system. And next year, this time, how much money you will be requiring to fund the project? Because projects will be in various stages of planning, design, tendering, execution, and some projects may get affected due to some reasons. So currently we are having about 2,000 contract packages running across Kerala. So all these 2,000 programs will have 2,000 schedules. So we have a portfolio management system where all these inputs are accumulated. And we have an asset liability model also, in which we can predict how much will be the money we will be requiring at a particular point of time from 6 months from today or 1 year from today. This will help KIIFB in planning the finances. So that is these two objectives are met through a robust project scheduling system.
One more thing. So because this is regarding BIM. Actually, when even when yourself and myself we studied, this BIM was not around. BIM is a new technology tool.
Yes.
We have been giving exposure to BIM to the students because we have an MOU with an organization called BIM Labs. He has given talks on this, and some students individually are taking training in BIM. Now, what advice do you have? See, is there any advice? First of all, does KIIFB recruit young engineers
We have been
They
recruiting.
have,
Yes, we have been recruiting two kinds of category. One is experienced engineers, 3 to 5 years experience, and second we have last year we have recruited from open market as well as from IIIC, that is Indian Institute of Infrastructure. The Chavara, that is IIIC.
Yes.
Yes. From there, we have recruited about 20 interns, and most of the interns we are gradually absorbing them in various streams, either in quality audit or BIM or project scheduling, depending upon their aptitude and taste. And this year, now that due to this COVID and all these things, recruitments are not yet started. But probably, if everything works well, in a couple of months' time, we will start recruiting people on a traineeship and internship. Then later on, they grow with KIIFB and find out their own interesting areas and get expertise. This is how we plan the manpower development in KIIFB. And that will help KIIFB in future as well as in other SPVs and the government in multiple ways. BIM is a very strategic initiative in KIIFB. Primarily to solve as I suggested, we want to solve the design issues. That is, we want to ensure that all detailed design to the micro level, nut and bolt level is available prior to start of the construction. That helps us in managing the project and managing the quality in a better way. So, Autodesk Revit platform we are using for non-transportation projects, and Civil 3D is a software we are using for transportation project. So, detailed engineering model is around 20-25 member team is working in KIIFB. Now we are sending trained BIM engineers to various executing agencies, so they can go there and sit and work. There is an interesting data environment, common data environment, BIM 360, where multiple people can work on it. Like suppose an architect is working in Cochin, and a project engineer is working in Kottayam, and a KIIFB engineer is working in Trivandrum. All of us can access the model and find out and come to a solution where what are the things. Several site level project meeting can be avoided by looking at the model and attending the conflicts and rectifying the defects. This is one interesting method which several developed countries have been following BIM model. Due to various manpower issues, quality issues, and investment issues, our government organizations have not picked up. But now KIIFB is promoting that, so the state government organizations are ready to follow it. And this is so. And one more thing I'll tell you, KIIFB has made you must have heard of a green building rating systems. Griha is 3 is mandatory in most of the projects with more than 2,500 square feet in size. So that area also KIIFB is focusing well and developing standards and control methods.
One issue is this BIM. Actually, none of these new technologies are included in the syllabus. We are hindered by the fact that it's not included in the syllabus, and the training taken from outside is a bit costly for the students. But we are trying to impress upon them to get trained in softwares like BIM, BIM 360, Revit, all these things. But I think probably students will understand from your talk that these things are important. Not only in Kerala state construction scenario, but even outside when they go, it is rather important. I think it's just a comment. I think you can.
Yes, sir. This is actually now it is almost mandatory in most of the modern construction organizations. Like when AutoCAD was introduced, people stopped using manual drafting and manual this thing. And when total station was started using it, we stopped all other old surveying techniques. Like that, once BIM becomes mandatory, from the scratch itself, people can start working on the. It's not that developing 2D drawing first and developing a model. It's from the thinking stage itself, you can start doing it in BIM, and later on, only 2D drawings will be required only for issuing to the site for the people who are executing, like supervisors or all this. All other modeling and quantity taking and conflict checking project management, everything. BIM is introduced with BIM is integrated with the scheduling also. There is a software called Navisworks which integrates the BIM with the Microsoft project scheduling. So visual project, you can see how this project is developing, getting across a period of time. We can visualize it, and there are several applications and tools available now. And it's a large area. There are digital technologies which are going to change the construction scenario in future. Because the investment in digital technologies are going to pay back in a much heavier way. Because we know that trained manpower is limited in most of the sectors. So this technology will help us in executing the project with limited resources. That is so we are promoting this as a strategy.
I think Professor Rani, other students can ask their doubts also, I think.
Sir, students are there, I think. I can start asking doubts regarding your queries.
Sir, I have a doubt. Sir, I am from MTech batch doing my specialization in geotechnical engineering. So, sir, as we are on our project period, both BTech and MTech batches, sir, for doing our projects, we need fundings and all. So, what are the procedures, initial procedures or initial steps to be followed if we approach KIIFB for funding?
No, actually, KIIFB does funding for projects which are approved by budget in the government, not for student project. But there are capacity development programs where KIIFB is planning to help these interns. Internship programs are there. If at all some engineers join us with the interns, as interns, they can work in the project. Otherwise, KIIFB do not venture into funding on development projects for the time being, but these IITs are seeking as IITs are asking for association on various new technology areas. So there, if any opportunities there can be considered by KIIFB. Like Palakkad IIT is now helping us in, as I suggested, various slope protection technology developments. So if there is a possibility that some academic institution comes up with a proposal where KIIFB can develop it as an acceptable technology which can be used in our projects, then there is a scope of funding support or comes into the picture. This is so. Like if we don't have a direct project supporting, any institutions coming forward for developing a specific technology which KIIFB is focusing on it. Currently, we have association with Palakkad IIT and IIT Chennai. And beyond that, we are not gone further. But if some proposals come from some institutions, then it can be thought of.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you, sir.
Any other queries from our UG students? Any other queries? I think Vijayadas, hope after passing out from BTech and MTech level, how or from during MTech course, how can they interact with KIIFB? After conveying from your talk, I came to know that after the UG course, after joining in some form, that as engineers or something, they can coordinate with you in that way, or is that possible to start with the internship by doing some having some academically some MOU with KIIFB is possible for us?
No, academic interventions, I said, as I suggested, if any project which is interesting to KIIFB, means which can be directly applicable to KIIFB project, we can discuss with the CEO. And if there is an option for association, it can be thought of. But internship is open for all those who have done the MTech. Internship we'll be calling soon. If there are no other COVID-related issues extended, we are waiting for the things to get normalized because this internship is something which cannot be done in a virtual mode. Most of the offices have been working for last 6 months and 1 year in a virtual mode and all these things. But the internship by hands-on association is required. The intern should work closely with the officers who are, they have to go with them to the site and understand how things are going on and all these things. So we have been waiting for the internship recruitment, but we have an approval. Some 30-40 interns every year we can take. And there, I also suggest that our platform is open for registration. Those students who have completed mostly for postgraduates gets a preference. They can apply to the online platform, and there will be some qualification, some exam, some test and the selection process. After that, capable candidates get inducted into it.
This is the form with the KIIFB website? Is the form?
Yes, there is a KIIFB website, and that internship portal is open.
Okay, that's nice. I think we'll encourage the students to apply.
Yeah.
Yes, Vijayadas, we have two batches of MTech, that means senior and junior. They have in Geotech. So is there any specification that PG level, any stream is specific regarding the internship, or any stream can apply?
Any stream can apply. BTech plus MTech candidates are given preference in internship selection. That's all.
So what will be they will be giving a stipend or they will be given experience certificate?
No, they are given. See, our stipend is, we are giving good stipend. 25,000 per month is given to the interns. And normally the internship is 3 to 6 months, but it gets extended up to 1 year in normal course, depending upon their performance. And they get a fair chance of getting inducted in either KIIFB or in KIIFB supported units, because they get an edge on the technological processes which KIIFB is. It's a good opportunity for bright engineers to join KIIFB and part of infrastructure development in India.
So after the MTech course, so final batch, let them approach for the registration, and the first year batches they can also.
They can apply. Anybody with the BTech is the minimum qualification. But
so the BTech can also do, right?
BTech also can apply. But MTech
so that's a good chance. So they will get the same stipend.
Is there any minimum qualification for them? Any regarding marks, cutoff?
No, I'd have to check. Anyway, I think it's there in the portal. Or I'll check and convey to Rani.
Okay, that's good information, Vijayadas, because students right now, they are the need of experience basically. After passing out, they are in a bit of confusion which stream they have to go, or they have to get experience from the base. So really, I think this webinar will be a focus to that students who are not aware of KIIFB. So hope that our students get registered into that zone. And any queries from students? I saw some message coming up. Hemna, can you please read some messages?
Yes, ma'am. Sir, we have a query in our chat box. Sir, can you explain the strategy regarding implementation, preparation of guidelines for geosynthetic for slope stability? At which level it is planning to provide guidelines to SPVs? Is it like BIM 360 implementation as part of BIM implementation of BIM?
No, geosynthetics, use of geosynthetics and slope stabilization, as I suggested, the IIT Palakkad is studying on this, and they have to come up with the proposals on site-specific solutions. After that, we will formulate certain guidelines, and based on that, SPVs can include them in their project. BIM 360, KIIFB's initiative. KIIFB's BIM initiative, BIM 360, we are training all the internal people as well as the SPVs. The training process is going on. Once the training is completed, the model shall be viewed through BIM 360 and edited, and all manipulations can be done through that. This is how we are approaching it. We are making part of this thing. So BIM 360 and BIM implementations in a very advanced state, but with regard to geosynthetics, it is in the technology development phase only. And one more thing I want to add, that all the technologies, processes, systems, what KIIFB is now promoting is today or tomorrow it is going to be followed by, because we follow several international organizations, and most of the Indian organizations who are going to get involved in the infrastructure revolution, which we are expecting in the next 4 or 5 years. The government of India is a national infrastructure pipeline where it is billions of rupees is going to be spent on massive infrastructure development. So there are a lot of employment opportunities and several developments are going to take place. And what KIIFB is promoting and KIIFB is making it a standard is likely to be followed by several organizations. That's what means. It is. We are almost trying to match our level with international project engineering organizations. That is what we come to know from various interactions with various people abroad and various people working in. Last time I had a discussion with Autodesk India. They're also a little bit. They're also surprised to hear about the developments taking place in Kerala and particularly in KIIFB. So it's likely to become a model. So the technologies and process what KIIFB is following, if the engineers can focus on such areas, they will get plenty of opportunities, not only in KIIFB or state government, but in various new organizations and national and international organizations engaged in infrastructure sector. This is my advice.
Okay, thank you very much for that. And BTech, if there is any.
Yeah, I'll make a. We have several presentations. I'll just club it so that the students, it will be useful for the students. So I'll make and send it in a couple of days' time.
Okay, thank you for that. And BTech, if they're done some BIM project or if they're not at all trained in BIM, are they able to register and are they give a priority for joining for internship or any training needed or just BTech person?
I suggest people to get trained in BIM and various non-destructive, this quality audit type things. BIM is one of the area where they get a fair advantage. BIM, project scheduling, and quality audit. These are the three areas we normally prefer the people. If they have some experience, it will be an added advantage for them, and it will increase their chances of getting selected in KIIFB internship.
Okay. So the BTech will also have the same stipend and all that. BTech or
yes. Yes. Currently, there is no difference, but I don't know. In the future, it may have a differentiation. We have to wait for. So we are waiting for the next board meeting, which is likely to be in June. After that, only the process of selection will start. Because KIIFB is also passing through various issues and problems. So it's all getting settled. Now we are hoping that better things will take place with KIIFB.
So the registration will be open only after June?
No, registration is open. Already we are having the database of people and we will start calling for the examination or process will start probably after June only.
Okay, so
now they can apply. Anybody who has completed BTech, either working or undergoing some training or doing MTech, they can apply. And those who have completed MTech also can apply.
So that's a good information from this webinar to all the finalists and those who are going final in MTech also. So hope any more queries from students side? Because they're all new to the thing because they're all studying all project management. They have heard the word of third CPM and all that like we study. So they don't know about the detail about the working processes might be because of that. Anyway, Emna, can we go for the feedback session now?
Yes, ma'am. Is there any participants who is having feedback for the session? You can unmute the mic and share the feedback of the session. Is there any participants?
Good evening, all. Thank you, sir, for an enlightening presentation. It was an excellent session which gives us lots to think about and provided valuable information to our career. And also, I thank the entire team who works together for an excellent section. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Rani. Thank you, Narayan, sir.
Sir, this was such a...
Yeah, please continue.
This was such an informative session. Thank you, sir, for spending your valuable time with us. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, everyone. The session was very interesting. We would learn about different software setting that is being used here. Thank you, sir, for the informative session.
Thank you, sir, for such informative session with us. It was a very detailed section, clearly stating all the processes in KIIFB. Overall, the section was very insightful. Thank you.
Thank you, Vijayadas, sir, for your valuable time. Thank you, sir.
Any more participants to share the feedback? Okay, thank you, sir, for this interesting session. So now I welcome Nihara of S8 to propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Hannah. A warm good evening to one and all. I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks. First and foremost, let me thank our very special guest and speaker of the day, Mr. Vijayadas, sir, for taking the time out of your busy schedule for this enlightening and insightful session. And I'm pretty sure that the knowledge you've imparted will definitely benefit us in our future endeavors. I would also like to mention my deep sense of gratitude to our management, head of the department, faculties, and mentors of our chapter, Rani ma'am and Kannan sir, for their encouragement and support, which keeps us moving forward, and to the organizing team of our chapter for their relentless effort in making this event a grand success. So, on behalf of the entire IG student chapter of Marine Engineering College, we thank each and every one of you for your presence to sparkle this event. Last and never the least, Almighty God for making this webinar a resounding success. Once again, thanking you all. May you all have a wonderful evening ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Nihara. Now we have a virtual memento as a token of gratitude. Can we have it on the screen, please? This is presented to Mr. Vijayadas with deep appreciation of your visionary guidance and in grateful recognition of your enduring commitment throughout the webinar. We thank you for spending your valuable time with us. Thank you, sir. Participants, please note that the feedback form is provided in the chat box. Please ensure that you fill the feedback form to issue the certificate. Thank you once again, all the participants and faculties to join with us on this webinar.
Vijayadas, thank you for.
Okay, thank you. I'm leaving.
Thank you for accepting my request and joined and given a focus to all my students.
Okay.
Thank you so much, and we'll be in touch with you. Sir. Thank you from our student chapter side. Thank you.